So in that respect, you are absolutely right. You are absolutely right. God damn it. God damn it. When you make a point. Oh my God. Because you're absolutely right with that one. Yeah.
Hey, I'm 2 for 2. Get life insurance and be patriotic with
Yeah,
Young
with Young
Miami.
Miami. Yeah. Yo, 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 yo. This is DJ Brainstorm on the mic with you right now, coming to you with a new episode of the DMST Conversations podcast. It's been a while, but we are back. Ulysses is back. What is going on, Ulysses? How you feeling today?
I'm blessed, healthy, and wealthy per usual. It's been like a nice little minute. We done went probably like a whole month. So
Yeah,
about to catch up
yeah.
on, but I'm still copacetic, still moving and grooving. How you?
I'm good, tired, like we was talking about before the show, but we got a whole catching up to do. But yeah, just tired, but keeping it moving. I tell people all the time. I saw somebody that hadn't seen in some years on Friday night when I was DJing. And I'm like, hey, the best way to describe me right now is tucked away, out of sight. I get up, I do what I got to do, take care of what I got to take up, and then I go home and chill. So that's my norm right now. But like you
Shoot,
said,
I
it's
might as
been.
well. Go ahead. I'm
You said
sorry.
what? No, go ahead.
I might as well say how's your month since it's been that long because it ain't been a week.
That's what I was about to ask you. Yeah, I was about to say the same thing to you because you mentioned before, you was like, we probably haven't recorded since right before Father's Day. Um, and I think that's right because we did the one a week before because we were saying, all right, the following Friday I'm sorry, not Friday, we knew the following Sunday was going to be Father's Day. And then I actually wound up getting booked to DJ like this Father's Day event on that Sunday. So I wound up working anyway. Um, so it's just been. I'm happy that things have picked up DJ wise this year. This is It's kind of been one of the busier stretches and summers so far that I've had in a couple years. But it's all good. But what's been going on with you in the past month? I guess.
Honestly, worked every day in June except for 3 days, and 2 of those was my vacation. Um, I celebrated my best friend Jasmine's birthday. Happy birthday, Jazz. We kicked it. And you know how they got that saying like, I am who I think I am? I was not. Because for us to have gone through the amount of liquor in that vacation is
Mm-mm.
completely insane. Like and we kicked it. Like
Did,
kicked it. Shout out to our family in Detroit too. They
I
came
about to say,
down
did y'all
for
go
the whole
somewhere? Oh no, y'all was here.
well, we was here, but we went to Kalahari that Friday before the holiday, and then on the 4th they had like a 4 or 5 family block party or whatever. And when I tell you the fireworks, I haven't paid for a better show. That's how the
Mm-hmm.
fireworks were. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm not because everybody don't understand fire safety, so I'm not gonna be on the street. I went to the balcony and I watched from the balcony because I do not want to be down there because it was like a couple times where fireworks that were supposed to go like up in the air didn't go all the way up in the air and they
Mm-hmm.
exploded on the ground. So yeah, I'm cool. But it was fun though. And definitely noticed that I need to have more of a work life balance. So
Mm-hmm.
me and Corlicia have a brunch coming up. So we getting back on that schedule. And then I have like a happy hour link with my other friend this Tuesday and just really um like taking advantage of the people that God has blessed me with, making time, making memories, and just having the feels like, I even pulled up on you this weekend and it was amazing just to be able to just sit out and have, some conversation, some good food. The wings was good and some good drinks.
Mm-hmm.
So just enjoying the people that God has blessed me with and working is what I've been doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you showed that turn down the pork yesterday. You was
What
like,
you
I need
mean?
something that you was like, I don't even want nothing that's done touch some pork in this house. You ain't eating no
Oh
rib. You ain't had
yeah,
not one, but
yeah.
nah.
Cause one time I did, I used the knife they used to cut up the ribs to cut my chicken breast, and I caught myself like legit halfway through the chicken breast and took the knife out, and I got so sick. I was, like, so sick for, like, 4 days that I don't even mess with the grease. Like, mm-mm, mm-mm.
I mean, I'm joking, but I do know people that they won't even do like the utensils that's touch some things. I mean, I've even seen, especially like when I've seen people that are like religious. One of my homies when I was down in South
Mhm.
Carolina, Indian guy that was going to med school and stuff down there, but like that they didn't eat meat, and but like, and it was times that like it was I've seen him like eating something that had touched something, and then he didn't realize until later. I mean, he's spitting it out. He taking the napkin and wiping his tongue off and stuff. I mean, some it gets really serious depending on what your beliefs is with it. A lot of times. So I
And
said
it's
I
belief
was just
and
joking with
food
you.
sensitivity because, like, when you go so long without being exposed to it, that really
Your
be
body
what it
don't
really
react
is.
good to it.
Exactly, and that's really what it is, food sensitivity. Beliefs, of course, with respect. Um, but yeah, I mean, and I have been exposed, um, and I didn't, like, get as sick, and I think it's because of the way that the pork was, like, like, when it's cured, like pepperoni, bacon, ham, like, when it's cured, I think it's not as aggressive.
Hmm.
Um, because I have had bit into a pizza that had pepperoni, and I didn't know. And so, but yeah, even just, coming over for that little bit or whatever and pulling up on you or whatever, like, it be stuff like that. You know what I'm saying, that
Hmm.
I appreciate. Um, but yeah, no pork.
No, nah, nah. Any shows lately?
I got a show coming up on the 31st. I had a show on the 8th. It was like a little quick, basically my friend asked me to pull up. He was hosting a mic or whatever, asked me to do some time and just something like little quick mic or whatever. I'll be on East Ninth at what is it called? Nuvo or something like that or whatever.
Oh, the Mexican spot Nuevo,
Yeah,
right down
Nuvo.
there on the water.
Yeah. I'll be there on the 31st. And then I got another show coming up, I think in August. I think. But I'll have everything posted on my Instagram per usual. So,
Okay.
but I'm pulling up on you on Friday, like I said, Johnny
Hmm.
Malloy's, because I need a good kick it. I need a good kick it, and that's my motherfucking DJ, y'all. I don't care what nobody say. As calm, cool, and collected, and laid back as Brainstorm is, he will definitely have any room going. Any room going. He be
I
focused.
appreciate that. I do. I do be focused.
I'd be like,
But
"That's my motherfucking day." I be over here hyping him up the whole time. He don't even hear me. He just focused.
nah, I don't be paying. Yeah, yeah. It depends on what's going on. But all right, what I've been up to these last weeks to a month. I mean, like I said, more than anything, just working. Like I said, I did work on Father's Day. Um,
How was your
and
Father's
then
Day?
I was cool. Like I said, worked, and then I think they were gone. They got back a little bit. Like by the time I was getting back from DJing, um, because they had to go down to Columbus. I'm sorry, down to Cincinnati. I think for a funeral. Yeah, I think they went down for a funeral. Um, and so
I'm
by the time
sorry.
I was getting home, that early evening or so, they were just getting back. So I mean, it was fine. Um, and then like the week after that, just I think what was it? It's I don't think I had too much going on, but then like, things led up until like the 4th of July weekend. Everybody was kind of, I didn't do anything 4th of July. Like we wound up not doing anything Juneteenth. Our event got canceled down in
Mhm.
Columbus that MTV was putting together for the like 10 years in
Reschedule.
podcasting. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, saying it's rescheduled because I know he was mentioning like the football game later in the year.
Mhm.
Yeah, so they got rescheduled. So um, ultimately I think I wound up working yeah, I wanna work well, I was working on Friday, that Juneteenth, yeah, because I wanna be in here, so I went to work. Um, I mean, just been doing a lot of that stuff, and then, 4th of July weekend came and, I worked on the Friday, then that Saturday, which was actually on the 4th of July, because my sister-in-law was here. So that Saturday, I actually wound up going to the fight downtown with my brother down at CSU. The Cleveland boxer was in, Abdullah Mason. He had a title fight here, so it was like one of the first time they did this big title fight thing on I think on TNT, and so Pat down there. Everybody was down there. It was one of them things. It was almost like I don't know what popped up on the screen. It was almost like the Usher concert. It felt like the whole city was down there. And then so the Sunday we really didn't do too much. It was just kind of chill. But then the Tuesday after that was the Usher concert. And that boy was if I feel like all of Black Cleveland was at the stadium downtown for the Usher concert. I'm pretty sure if you hear, at least 5 people that were there because you saw pictures and stuff. I mean, Pat, we got in easy and to our seats and things like that. It was crazy because I saw somebody posting that it seems like everybody was there, but they didn't see anybody. I ran into like one of my cousins randomly and saw somebody else that I knew down there. Like, but that was it. But again, it felt like the whole city was down there. No complaints at all. I know people got their issues with Chris Brown still. I get it. I understand. Um, I hadn't seen him perform before. I've seen Usher. I saw him in Vegas when I was out there
Mhm.
for my bachelor party. We actually wound up going to one of his residency shows, and it was a great show. So I've seen Usher. I've never seen Chris Brown perform. Um, Chris Brown is an alien. The way he moves from the time he walks on the stage to the show it's over. I mean, it's just nonstop energy. He's running, he's dancing, he's flipping, I know people went to the concert when he had the big tour, but I mean he's on the zip line, he's flying around the whole stage. I mean the whole stadium and stuff like that. Chris is an alien. Um it's almost and as good as Usher was, because Usher was good, he's still good. Chris Brown is an alien. It is almost like when some years ago, I think it had to be about 2013ish or so, 2013, 2014. I saw when Jay-Z and Beyonce was on tour. They did the On the Run tour, and I went to see them down in Cincinnati. And it's like, I'm a Jay fan, so it's cool every time I get to see him in concert. But it was my first and only time I got to see Beyonce. And obviously it's a complete difference because Jay just kind of stand there and rap, walk across around the stage or whatever. I saw Beyonce that day and I was like, you know what? I see why people go crazy. And this was 2013 ish. I'm like, I
Mhm.
see why people go crazy. I would pay this, not what people pay now. I wouldn't pay that much to see her. But I mean, I'm not paying that much to see too many people right now. But to be honest, she might be one of those shows that might be worth it. But she does a show. Like her show in contrast to Jay was so different that I was like, yo, I know a full blown Beyonce show. It's gotta be crazy. And that's kind of how I felt with the Usher Chris Brown thing, where it was dope. All the stuff they do was dope. Their setup, the stage, and everything. Their DJs was crazy at the beginning. It was really it was worth going to see. Um, so like I said, that was dope on Tuesday. I wound up taking off on Wednesday just because I'm like, yo, if we go into this concert,
Ain't no
we
way you
gonna
getting up
go.
and going to work. Yeah.
Yeah, we gonna have a good time, and we didn't even get out of there until I think the concert didn't even end until like 11:30 midnight. I'm like, we ain't gonna do all this and go home and then still be popping up in the morning, even though we work from home. We're like, man, we got PTO, just take the day off.
You got
Because we
time to
did
use it.
that. Yeah. I mean, honestly, and then we did. One of Carlicia's best friends was up here. She drove up here from Cincinnati to go to the concert with us. So I mean, it was something. So we had people here too. It's just like we took the day off work. And then, so that was just basically it until the weekend. I worked on Friday again, and then, like you said, you came by yesterday. I had a barbecue yesterday. I had my parents came through. My one of my brothers came through. You stopped by. Um, I mean, and when I say I'm tired, I woke up at 6:30 something yesterday, something to 7. Because whenever I know I gotta get up, I can't sleep. Like when I know I
Mhm.
gotta get up and do something. And because I was making the ribs and stuff, so I really want to try to have the ribs on by 8. I didn't get them on until 9, but I mean, I did three racks of ribs. I barbecued some chicken. I smoked some chicken. Made burgers, made brats, all types of stuff like that. Then my parents brought food over, so I mean, I had to grill their food on I had to do that. So I mean, I was up and on my feet yesterday from by the time you got there was when I was just really kind of starting to sit down. Like I was done cooking all my stuff, and you got there at what 6 something?
7.
Yeah, I mean at that point I was just kind of just getting to the point of kind of sitting down. I was on my feet all day yesterday, and I mean so I'm paying for it today. My back is screaming. I'm
Especially
tired.
since you work from home and you kinda chill, and then if you think about it,
Yeah,
like, DJing
not
outside
active.
of, like, getting to the location and setting up and then breaking down and getting home, you don't really do a whole lot, so that was taxing
Mhm.
on you.
Yeah,
That
I
was
say that all the
taxing.
time. Like sometimes even when you're not doing a lot of stuff, like that's just a
Mhm.
normal thing. Like if I was just to go, maybe go for a walk for 45 minutes or something like that, just a walk. It's not really like I'm running, doing a bunch of heavy lifting. But when you sit for so long every single day, sometimes just doing a simple thing,
Yep.
mm-mm, it'll take you out. And
Oh,
that's why we say
I
we got to get more active.
absolutely, I can agree because when I went to Kalahari, I'll never go back again out of shape because everything is stairs.
Uh
You're
huh.
literally
Every day.
walking to the top of this freaking building to do these slides and everything like that, and when I tell you I was so exposed to how out of shape I am doing them stairs. I was like, never again. Never again. I felt like a
Mm-hmm.
fish out of water. Couldn't take a breath deep enough. Absolutely not.
Mm-hmm. Those stairs
Absolutely
kick
not.
your
I
ass
gotta
out
get
there.
it
We've been
together.
out there once. Yep. Yeah. So like I said, so that's pretty much been it. Just working, staying out the way, and it's like you said, it's time is flying. We halfway through July. Summer at this point we feel like we on the other side of summer because once you hit the
Oh
fourth,
yeah, we're definitely down the hill.
yeah, once you hit the fourth, it starts just going the other way.
Yes.
Um, so I mean, with that being said, is there any other thing you really want to try to get into your summer?
Ooh. I really do want to take like a weekend out of town. Even if it's just like a quick drive to Cincinnati or New York. It don't have to be a flight per se, you know what I'm saying? But just like to
Mm-hmm.
get out of town for like one weekend and be cool. You know what I'm saying? Um, go to go get in the water at least 2, 3 more times, whether that's indoor or outdoor. So get in the water at least 2, 3 more times. Um, and hit one of these rooftops. Hit one of these rooftops in the city.
Yeah,
Hit one of these rooftops. 'Cause like they have stuff all the time.
and I see
All
the
the different
pictures
kind
and
of
I be like,
downtown on
damn.
the water and the flats and stuff. Like even the boat rides. Like I keep
Mm-hmm.
missing the freaking boat ride. Every year I say, "Oh, Imma do this boat ride," and every time I do not plan for it, I do not remember it. It happened, it come and go. So,
Uh-huh.
just getting more outside, just getting more outside, making more memories, um, and then also just being more quality over quantity. Like I used to pull up to all these mics and just be, and say, "Nah, mm-mm," because economically, gas is expensive,
Mm-hmm.
and I know me. If I step outside, I'm going to spend at least $40, $50 just
Yeah,
going
yeah.
outside.
Anytime you leave your house, you spending $50 to $100
Yes.
every time you leave the house.
So, but just having like I said, more of a work life balance. Like I said, I worked every day in June except for 3, and I have an extended weekend coming up this weekend because I'm working 4 days in a row. I'll be off Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, then work Wednesday to Saturday. So I have that extended weekend to kind of breathe a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah, yeah. I agree with you on the rooftop thing because there are more than a handful of places in the city here, and I'm not sure how all other cities are, as far as rooftop places. I'm pretty. It's easier with hotels. A lot of hotels can give you like a rooftop bar or something like that, but Cleveland does have them. And then there are a couple places in the flats right now where they have that outdoor patio rooftop thing set up where it's right there on the river, so it's right there on the water. And they do events all the time. It's a lot of curated events going on around the city that um, some of them I'm at the point that I don't really want to do all the curated events. At least I don't like people all like that. But it is you got to take advantage of the summer. You got to get out the house. You got to get downtown. You got to get you got to get around the water somewhere. You got to do the simple events. You go to a Wade over Wednesday. Go to one of these
Mhm.
festivals be going on. We missed the
Mhm.
food truck
The
festival
little
out
fairs, get some funnel
yeah,
cakes.
go to the fairs. Taste the Tremont is coming up. In fact, it's this Sunday. That's a week from today. Taste the Tremont. So
Oh
by the time
shoot.
y'all, yeah, I was just on the cruise because I know y'all doing brunch. I'm like, well, I still want to maybe try to find a way to get to Taste the Tremont out there. Because we try to get out there
Shoot,
for
we could
that.
do
But
like a
just
light little brunch. Shoot, we could pregame. We could treat brunch as the pregame. You
here
know what
you
I'm
go.
saying? And still do it. Shoot, because we got matter of fact, there's a couple of brunch sponsors over by Tremont. But
Oh
that's
well,
that's that's our thing. But we'll figure it out.
yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it's just because before we know it, the day's really gonna be short. It's gonna be 7 something. We go like, God damn, we let the whole summer get away, and then
The
it's gonna
whole
be
summer
cold
is gonna be
again.
cold again. Yes.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's gonna be snowing again, and we all gonna be depressed again. And hell, even if I'm talking about something I want to do in the summer, it's just get into my backyard every so often. We were sitting at the table yesterday talking
Oh
about how
yeah, very much.
we never sit in our we 3 years almost we've been in this house. We've probably sat in that yard at that table, in all honesty, as sad as it is, 5 or 6 times. We just don't sit out there. Um, and just my own yard. I got a nice table, got the umbrella out there. We can just sit out there and have some drinks. Hell, you can sit out there and have some food and everything.
Yeah.
We don't do it. So that's my big thing for the rest of the summer, just to get outside
Hmm.
a little bit. That's it.
Touch some grass.
Yeah. Yep. Which is what people need to do. So, all right. So, in the matter of getting outside, so one of the things we want to talk about, what one thing was people being outside. It's a, kind of a sad topic, but it's been in the news as of late. The kid, I say kid, but he was a young adult because he was 18. But the black kid, Nolan Wells, down there in Mississippi, who on the 4th of July went out on a boat with friends to some little island off the coast of somewhere in Mississippi. So one of those little
with
small islands. Um,
with with white friends, only
yeah,
black men.
with white friends. These places like this exist. I know sometimes people don't believe these little small like island type places exist. Because most time people think islands, you think something that's exotic and something
Hmm.
far out or whatever. But
Hell,
like
Putin Bay
even
is an island
put,
in
I was about to
Cleveland.
say, yeah, yeah, so up here in our area, we can understand it a little bit more. And even when I lived in South Carolina, there were little small, little, St. Helena Island or Ladies Island, those little small areas where you got to hop over the bridge just to get over into there, stuff like that. So, but not everybody thinks about it when you say something about an island.
Hmm.
But so he on the 4th of July went out with a bunch of his white friends to this little, from what I was looking at, it's kind of like this little remote area. Says it's not really inhabited that much, so I'm guessing there's not a ton of activity that goes on over there. Who knows? But they all go. Everybody comes back but him. Um, and so there's a lot of outrage about it right now. I think one of the biggest things that's so sad about the situation is the fact that we actually live in a country where we have to question so bad into what extent what possibly happened to this kid being out there, um because of the history of this country. So I think that portion is sad. I have my thoughts on probably what happened, but I guess I'll ask you what your general overview of it is right now.
What's really disturbing is how far and how blatant foul play has to be in these situations for them to consider prosecuting and investigating it.
Hmm.
Because over the last year, it's been like, I'm gonna just say 12 um black people found hanging ruled suicide. No. Like when these situations happen, the fact that very rarely anybody is held accountable for it is so sad. Like even with the black girl who went to out the country with her boyfriend turned fiance that didn't come back.
Hmm.
You just proposed to this girl and like now you're a widow,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah, it doesn't add up.
And I think that this needs to be the last situation. This needs to be the catalyst to where, as a culture, I don't care how divided we are. I don't care how much work we have to do. This has to be a non negotiable as a culture that we all have life insurance policies. And I'm talking about big, dumbass life insurance policies on us and our kids. Um, like non negotiable. Because the more these companies have to pay out, the more situations like this is less likely to happen.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I never even thought about that, but yeah, you're right. One thing insurance companies hate to do is pay.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, they hate to pay.
And on top of
Um,
that, because it's such a tragic loss, I couldn't fathom as his parent ever having to do anything that I'm obligated to do when I'm not mentally okay.
mhm.
So if he had a $1 million policy, you know what I'm saying, that the insurance company had to pay out, the families would be able to grieve properly
Yeah.
and not be forced to accept, hey, your family member is gone. We're probably not going to be able to do anything about it. And you just have to go on with your life.
Hmm. Yeah. I get that because it's one of those things where we know hitting people in their pockets gets people attention in this country. It's not a lot of stuff that moves people other than them losing money.
I bet you if we
That
had million
promotes a
dollar
lot of change.
policies, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, no, that's all I said. That promotes a lot of change.
I believe if we had $1 million policies on Black people, our healthcare would improve. You see so many times where there is medical mismanagement amongst our culture, um pain thresholds being ignored because they think as an African American my
We're
pain
strong. We
threshold is
take it.
different than everybody. I really do think that overall culturally a lot of things would improve if we had life insurance.
You know what? I'm not even mad at that point. I'm telling you the truth because it's not enough of us have them, or have enough coverage with them.
Mhm. Mhm.
And it's like you said, if there were, all these cases of people who we know they're being wrongly put out, yeah, you're right. If this half of the insurance industry is always having to pay out these policies to people, ultimately to creating these lines of wealth for black people, black and brown people, which another thing is that they don't want us to have. They don't want us to have wealth. Um, and that's always an easy, I hate to say easy path to wealth because you don't want, and I'm not saying wealth either because that's not wealth. That's just a little bit of being rich. Wealth is really money that's really sustained through generations to me. But
But that's how they
still,
do it. That's how
but
they
still
do it.
having money though. Yeah. Being able to leave something for
That's how white
someone.
people do it.
Yeah,
That's
being able to
literally
leave
their
something for someone.
generational wealth is life insurance policies.
Mhm, mhm, and,
Legit.
yeah. Oh, that's legit money, yeah, and then I've said it before, most of them don't take you don't have to pay a ton. I know I just opened up a new policy on myself a few months back. That's a hell of a lot more than my my last one was, but, I have a family here, so I needed to have a way bigger policy, but so this one costs, more, but if something happened to me, y'all gonna be pretty okay. you know um and that does need to happen, like I said. So I again, I wholeheartedly 100% agree with you that if something was going on that was legit, that one, the unfortunate cause of whatever put you in that situation, if those companies were losing money first and foremost, and then you're creating avenues of wealth for black and brown people, I think then they'd be like, you know what, we probably need to because the other side of stuff is cheaper. Like especially like the healthcare thing you brought up. I always say preventive medicine is way cheaper, and that's why insurance companies are into it now. That's why they push it so hard now. They did not used to do this. This started being really really big to me about 15 years ago. They really started switching their mentality with it. That's why you get a lot more things like people who have health insurance. That's why you get the free wellness visit or free physical per year and all those types of things. They didn't used to give a shit about that stuff because there was more money in treating it. And then they started to realize, oh, we're losing more money because now so many people are sick and we're paying claims out and claims and claims. It's like, oh, we'll do better helping y'all be healthy and not getting sick in the first place. That's why there's this big push for, and I've always been an advocate for preventive medicine, but that's why they started to switch their mentality with it. So again, if they were losing money for those issues and for those things, oh yeah, they will lean into a lot of stuff a hell of a lot more. I agree with you 100%. Um, but then also, like with the case with him, like none of us really know what happened when they were out there. Again, it's sad that we have to distrust so many people, but I wouldn't trust anybody for, like we have a 15-year-old boy in this house who we have to have unfortunate conversations with about, hey, this is what happens when you're out, and this is how you should be, and I mean, we've had to tell them. It, I know it hits home, but I don't know if he totally gets it. You can't
Mhm.
do everything that these white kids do. We live in a city that I guess is what 85% white compared to everybody else that's in this city, I guess. If not a little bit more white. And the white people here are starting to get more upset because they think it's too many of us moving here, which it really ain't. Um, but I feel like in this situation, I don't even know if it was really foul play per se, like in the sense of I don't uh, me just looking at it, I don't know if it was like, oh, we set out to go kill this kid or whatever. But I think kids that age, kids, boys, young men that age, because he was 18, I think they fucking play too much. Um, and I could very easily see it being some type of quote unquote horseplay type thing because like I saw a video
That
this
got
week
blown out
where
of proportion.
that something happened, and then now all y'all coming back and y'all getting y'all story straight about what happened, and we'll never know. Not that, again, so not that you set out to say, oh, we gonna do this to him, but they just play too much. Because I saw a video this week of it was a young black boy, probably around that same age group of that they were in. They were in some remote area on some water on a lake or something,
Mhm.
and he was the only black kid out there with a bunch of white kids, white little young white boys, and they had pulled off and left him like on the side of the water. And they kept telling him like, "Yo, swim over to us." And they were off camera, and it was a white family in a canoe, like in canoes, just or kayaks or whatever. And they were
Kayaks,
just
yeah.
like, and oh, you saw it?
No, I know. I seen a clip of it.
Okay, yeah, and they were like pulling up, and you could hear the kids, the white kids yelling like, "Swim over!" He's like, "No, I can't swim." And they like, "Oh, well, you got a life jacket on." He's like, "I'm not about to get in this water and drown." You know what? And they just fucking with him and calling him all types of names. I mean, I mean everything. And finally, by the time they got to him, they wound up just like telling him he could grab onto the back of the kayak, and so they took him all the way across to where he could get back to him because they wasn't trying to come back to get him because they playing around thinking that shit is funny or whatever.
Yeah,
And then and then if something would have
yeah.
happened and he tried to swim over and then he drowns, they gonna get their story straight by the time they get back. You know what I'm saying? So I could easily see this situation being something like that because they fucking play too much. Kids at that age fucking
Yep.
play too much. Either way, I don't think this was it just feels fishy to me. And again, we're programmed to be that way because of our history in this country.
Mhm.
We're programmed, but it just feels fishy to me that someone who was by all accounts, a good kid, uh, in shape, playing football at a small Mississippi college, that he just went somewhere and just drowned out of nowhere and nobody knows anything. Like everybody, how can you just come home and it's like, oh, he didn't make it? Like, how are you not calling somebody from where you are to say, hey, this is
In
happening.
real
We need
time.
help this way. Yeah,
In
we
real
need help
time.
out here. Yeah. And then I saw that they found the kid's phone. Like they thought it was lost, but when they used the Find My Phone thing, or I
Yeah.
think they said Life 360, it was found at one of the friends' house. So you brought his phone home.
And
So
car keys was found.
I'm
And they
like,
had a car
it's
key.
just fishy. It's the best way I can put it.
I and I think about this because I'm a very, I guess, approachable person.
Hmm.
And so I had this uh Trump supporter, uh, you know, basically want me to come to a rally with them and spend the
The hell
weekend
I'm
with
going to a
them.
rally
And
for? Yeah, huh, huh.
they said they are God fearing, America loving, you know, basically Christians.
Sound like some
And they
white
wanted
hooded shit
me,
to me.
huh?
Sound like some white hooded shit to me. Some
And they
KKK
wanted
white
me,
hooded shit to me.
yeah. And they wanted me to go, I think it was to Pennsylvania for the weekend with them because the rally was, I believe, that Saturday or something like that. And they will go Friday, Saturday, come back Sunday. But Friday they will go to the gun range and have dinner, and they wanted me to go to the gun range with them. And because she was like, "Do you shoot?" I said, "Yeah, I've shot a gun before, whatever. Yeah, we can go to the gun range." And I'm thinking to myself,
You, you was gonna be their sacrifice for the weekend.
listen. And so Now, mind you, very, very nice appearing. You know what I'm saying? Like it came out very genuine.
Mhm,
However, like you said, playing around too much, um, quote unquote mistakes happen and oh, I thought the safety was on and
mhm.
all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's like so in those situations, I just don't think that black people should be alone with white people. Period. I just don't think
Hmm.
that ever it should be a time where a black person is the only person in a white environment.
Ah,
I don't.
I think it's I mean, obviously I'm trying to think about the situations because obviously people they're interracial couples that happen, and so there are probably times that, you go with your girlfriend or boyfriend to their family's house, and it's, 4th of July, and hell, I had a white girlfriend when I was younger at some point in my early 20s, I guess. We dated for a matter of months or whatever. It never got like serious, serious, but but I remember going over there on the 4th, very unflavored food. She was cool people's, but very unflavored barbecue. Let me just say that much. But um
Yeah,
she was
like
cool. She cool people's, but I mean, but no,
only in
it's just
public. It's almost like
I mean,
you
yeah.
almost have to treat like these situations like you're meeting uh a intimate partner for the first time. Like only public settings during the day, like location on, like all of those things because too many times they're not gonna believe that there's not foul play. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
They get the benefit of the doubt, we don't.
Yeah.
We don't. And so I wouldn't have been up in old Pennsylvania. They was trying to take you up in the Appalachian Mountains somewhere or something. Y'all would have been, you would have been out there with no cell service. What in the name of get out is this? What is going on?
That's
This
what
is
I'm
they was about to
saying.
be, you was about to be the sacrifice for the weekend.
Then I come back to my room, my cell phone ain't never charged, it dies. You know what I'm saying? Like all type of stuff. No.
Mm-mm.
Oh, you can just ride with us. We can just take one vehicle, No. And my truck is left at the hotel. No. Mm-mm.
Yeah, no.
Mm-mm.
Now, yeah, now I wouldn't go that far these days. And again, it's the climate of our country right now. Um, I
And
mean,
even with the women,
mhm.
I listen, you don't know what the conversation is about your invitation. Because the one I just seen a one black guy, he was talking to this white girl in Mississippi and like the girl was like, I don't know if my parents is gonna like you because they don't like black people or whatever. He was like, well, I really like you. You cool, this and that, whatever. Maybe we can sit down and meet him, and they can figure out who I am, this and that, whatever. And they just was like, well, there's something about him, and he could work around the house, but I don't think he's for you. You have found somebody better or something like that, whatever. And the girl was like, that sucks because he really likes you. He thinks you're cool. Well, let's keep him thinking that and this and that. No,
If I was obviously back before times now, but if I was dating someone, honestly, it wouldn't matter white, black, or whatever. If somebody said, that the parents didn't like me, I know there's sometimes you could try to work through those things, but I definitely wouldn't try to do it if it was somebody outside my race. It's like, oh, the parents don't like you. They probably never gonna like you. I'm not fighting that battle.
listen, they don't like me, and it has nothing to do with this relationship. They don't like people who look like me.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I couldn't be your friend, let alone your man, let alone your hut. Like it wouldn't progress. It would not
Mm-hmm.
progress. And the fact that you are dibbling and dabbling, I kind of question your genuine motive. Because are you
Mm-hmm.
doing it to spite them? Are you doing it because it's thrilling for you? Like why? Like, and that's why I don't want to be nobody's fetish. Like as a tall woman, I'm like, why do you, as a short man, want to talk to me? Why do you want to do this to kiss me? Like,
Oh
no.
goodness.
So I could not have, I cannot even turn a blind eye to your people really not liking me. Because, like, think about it. What if it progressed? What if I have kids?
Oh,
Now
then
I
it's
got
a
to
wrap.
worry about their grandparents being the biggest threat to their life.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, no, no. You mean
So
tell me
basically,
that? Go ahead.
No, I'm about to say, so basically what you're saying is right now that you can't see yourself dating outside your race at this point.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
And I hate that. I really, really, really do because again, I don't think that everybody who does not look like me acts though like
Of course
I'm not
not.
into stereotypes. However, at the same time, it'd be so much work for me to be the exception in that situation.
Mhm.
I don't think my anxiety, my mental, my spirit will feel okay. I'll be very uneasy all the fucking time. All the time.
It feel like it'd be so tiring.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think I would feel safe. And that's all a woman wants to do is feel safe with her man,
Mhm. Mhm.
let alone the people
Yeah.
that you come with.
Next thing you know, they want y'all to go on a camping trip. Now,
Mm-mm. And that's another part of what the girl was parents talking about. We'll take him up into the mountains, and then
nope,
what'll happen. Like what?
nope,
You don't
nope,
like me, and you want to take me somewhere where I
nope,
literally have to be by myself with y'all, and y'all don't like me? No.
no.
Mm-mm.
That, but that to kind of, I guess, wrap that part up. But there should never be a time where people should be able to go somewhere, y'all leaving a group trip or something like that, and you get to come home, and it's like, oh, we all made it, but you didn't. How the hell did you leave where you were? Because I guess the talk is the kids were saying that he tried to stay behind and talk to some girl. Um, I think I was reading an article a little bit earlier today where some girl was saying she was like, no, he said he was leaving with the boys to go back home. Um, I don't see. I know young people do stuff that are odd. They don't do stuff that makes sense all the time. If I came with y'all and y'all were my ride, I don't really see it being like, oh, I'ma stay on this little ass island somewhere. Y'all go ahead and go ahead. And it's almost like, okay, I'ma find my way back. Like it just it ain't adding up. I feel like if you go somewhere and y'all go as a group, like out of town or whatever, and y'all come back, it has to be some type of larger investigation. And then I always question the people too. I mean, remember the black group of the girls or whatever that was out the country. Was this last year or something where the what happened? Did they beat the girl up or was it drinking or something? But the girl died somewhere, and then
Yeah,
all
I
of
do
them came
remember that. I
home.
do remember that. Yeah.
What was it? Was it a fight or something? 'Cause then some video came out with
Um,
that.
it was some type of bullying. It was some type of bullying
Yeah. Okay.
situation or something like that, whatever. But yeah, and then I was just watching it's a worst ever collection on Netflix. I don't know if it was the worst neighbor
Hmm.
or worst roommate, but it was another situation where a boy of color went to some type of like uh party at like a barn or some type of farm and didn't make it back or whatever because like his friends was like, "Oh, well, he can ride with you." And then the guy that he was supposed to be riding with went to the store and left him at the party and got turned around and like it was something or whatever, but he never made it past that party. He never
Yeah.
made out the party or whatever. And I was just like, I'm just tired of it being no answers, no information, don't nobody know nothing. And it can't keep happening that way with black
And
people. It just
it
can't.
keep just getting buried. Like nobody gets the answers. And I feel for that family. I feel for those parents. I know they've done a couple of interviews this week. Um, and it also sucks too. And I'm not trying to minimize any of the situation, but also sucks too because again, the kid, by all accounts, looked like he was a very good kid. Because shit happens to black people, and they like to pull up the worst photo of you and all
Oh,
of
for
these
sure.
things.
For sure.
And every photo I'm seeing of him, it's the college photo or it's his graduation photo
Yes.
of his football
Yes.
thing or whatever. He ain't one of them kids that you look at, you like, oh, this nigga probably wasn't
He
up
ain't
there.
got no
You
shiesty
got
on, and he
you
ain't
got
got a
none.
no middle
Yeah,
finger pictures, none of that. None of
none of
that.
that, none of that. So it just seemed like he was just a good kid going to school, hanging out with a bunch of white kids that he thought was his friend, and then some shit happened, and then now you're not here anymore at the age of 18, and you haven't even begun to live your life yet. So it goes back to like you were saying in the beginning. It kind of you have to put your arms around our communities, man, and Like I said,
just love on each
we,
other. Like all
we
that, all like I even conceded to the whole gender because I was a big one because I just was like, dude. And all honesty, I lack grace for that type of topic because I'm like, all this time in hip hop, you know, music been about having multiple women and doing this and doing that or whatever,
it's
and it
very
was all
misogynistic.
cool, huh?
It's
Yeah,
very
very yeah,
misogynistic.
and it was all cool when men were having these lyrics, and now all of a sudden, because women are saying it is hoe culture, they promote racial behavior, this and that, whatever. They're influencing their influence. Listen, I don't care what nobody say. I was taught at a very young age that what you see on TV and what you hear on the radios for entertainment is not real life. Da
It's
da da
not
da.
real
Da.
life.
Why can't people understand that just because I listen to certain things or watch certain things does not mean that I follow whatever the fuck I see. It's so many guys who watch Sports Center, ESPN, and y'all overweight and ain't no athlete. So how influential is media for y'all for real? So
Hmm.
why is it that all of a sudden I have to be the person that is affected by it? And oh, kids this and kids that. If your kid is influenced by somebody else other than you got other parental issues you need to figure out. And don't get me
I
wrong, some great parents out there, and very few times is it always the parent, because sometimes the kid gonna be the kid. You can do
yeah,
your best how you want to,
I
but
mean,
let's
and
stop
yeah,
blaming media and start taking more accountability of the environments that they live in day to day.
yeah. I mean, my only pushback on that one is that I mean, I feel like kids can be a little bit more easy. They're a little bit more easily influenced these days because they live in a fake space, which is their phones and social media. So
Hmm.
for them, the phones and social media and all the stuff that see it's more so real life to them,
Hmm.
because again they are more influenced by we still left out and lived in a real world. We can watch the music videos and hear what they talking about and know it
This
ain't
is
real
true. Yes.
because we
Yes.
still left the house and had to go deal with
Yes.
people. They live online, they post shit and think, oh, if I don't get more than 30 likes my life is over, from
Hmm.
people that they don't know. So I, in
Hmm.
that respect, I feel like they're a little bit more influenced. But I agree with what you're saying, where it's like there's bigger issues if that's the case. But back to what you were saying with the music and women saying what they want. I know it's been in the news this week. I'll ask your opinion on it. The basically one of the hottest songs out right now is the Young Miami song, the Spin That song, which is basically about boosting.
That's the most
And
patriotic song we have right now.
come on, man, come on
That is
now.
the most patriotic song that we have right now because as much as people hate it, I was listening to it while, we were celebrating this quote unquote holiday of being 250 years old. If you think about it, that's the most patriotic song that's out right now. If you look at American history.
They've been they've been scamming since the beginning. Still scamming. The man in the White
So
House right now is scamming every single day. All he care about for this 4 years is
and
getting
he's
money and fucking everybody else. Honestly, fuck y'all. I'm just getting money for me and the people I know. Let's get as much money as we can. Fuck y'all. Fuck y'all gas prices. Fuck y'all food. Fuck y'all student loans. I
he
don't even want
is
to tell you
literally in that
what
Oval
they're trying to
Office.
get back to me with my student loan. Yeah, he up in there scamming his ass off right now. So in that respect, you are absolutely right. You are absolutely right. God damn it. God damn it. When you make a point. Oh my God. Because you absolutely right with that one. Yeah.
Hey, I'm 2 for 2. Get life insurance and be patriotic with with
Yeah,
Young
with Young
Miami.
Miami. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, I agree with what you're saying. It's like it's a problem right now. Because I don't really have a problem with the song. I know the India RE thing was in the news or in the entertainment space about a week and a half ago, where she was talking about the lyrics of the song. That's her personality. She talks about things like that. Um, you know, I guess she was saying that that's like one of the hottest songs, and just what it's about or whatever. But I mean, it's music at some point. I mean,
At the same time, listen, this is my thing. I hate when an elder speaks on something and they automatically make it a reflection of her being jealous of the age.
yeah,
Or it has to be some type of envious take. India Irie is not wrong.
No,
India
she was nowhere near wrong.
Irie has her people. However, Young Miami has her people, and that's just
Yeah,
what it is.
yeah,
You had Martin Luther King, who had his followers, and then you had people who followed Malcolm X. It's
yeah.
just it is what it is. Like, think about it. If we keep the end goal in mind, we would get there so much faster. Because what is 6 and 3? 9. What is 5 and 4? 9. What is 7 and 2? 8 1. Can we just get to 9? Can we just get to
Mhm.
9? However that look. Like, I'm not gonna sit up there and tell you that oh, go this way to get to fucking McDonald's or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Versus it's multiple ways to get there. I don't care if you spin the freaking block or whatever and pull up on the fifth one because you like odd numbers.
Mhm.
The goal is freaking the goal.
Yeah, but if I'm hungry, take your ass straight to McDonald's. Fuck that 5. I'm hungry,
But I'm just saying, like, it's just
and
like
I need
we
my
spend so
20-piece
much
nugget.
time looking at the process versus the purpose. That's the problem.
Mhm,
We so focus on the process that we forget the purpose. The purpose is to be better human beings and treat each other with love. Period. Period. If
so it's
something
supposed to
is
be.
not for you, it's not for you. And that's okay. But happy people, intellectually sound people, is not worried about what other people are doing or how they're doing it. Do we sit on this podcast and talk about these things and just have these conversations? Yes.
Yeah,
However, I'm not that invested to where how you get down and how you live your life is gonna stop what I got going on over here. It's just not. It's not. And if
mhm,
whether you like it or you don't like it, half the time people saying their opinion about somebody, that person may not even hear it, see it, or coming. It's a million comments on that song.
mhm.
You think that the person that posted it sees all of that stuff? No, no.
No, they don't even pay attention to
Like
it.
they don't. They don't, and they don't care. They're too busy living their life.
Mhm.
Because
Well,
again,
and
knowledge
that.
is not power. Application is. If
Yeah.
we actually get up and did half the stuff we know, but like for example, I'm gonna be very transparent real quick. I know that I need to, get my house together. You know what I'm saying? It's not, don't get me wrong. My house is not Joe's apartment by a long shot. Don't get me wrong.
Mhm,
However, is there clutter here? A couple things missing out here. Do I have laundry? I know all of those things. I know that I need to get in the gym. I know that I need to do this. I know I have to set up. I know all of these things I need to do. Ask me what's getting done. So knowing it doesn't do anything to actually applying what you know to do.
mhm.
And if you spend more time applying what you know to do for yourself, you will be so busy. You will be so consumed with your progress that you wouldn't even have time to pay attention to nobody else. If we're really
Yeah.
being honest. If we're really being honest, if you was doing everything you knew to do, I'm talking about the write out a list. Write out everything you need to do. And until you complete that list, your blinders is up. You would be so busy and so like tied up with what you need to do for yourself, nobody else would
I
matter.
agree. I agree. I agree. Well, we can end it on this one. We were talking about people being focused on things or focused on the wrong things. Um, I was thinking about something I saw, I guess this week or this past week. Um, Savannah James, wife of LeBron James, and her podcast partner and I guess friend April. I think her name is April Jones. I think. Uh, they were on the Angie Martinez podcast. Shout out to Angie Martinez, who was a veteran in all things entertainment for years and years and years, and is a excellent interviewer of people. Um, but I guess for whatever reason, I do remember when this kind of had hit the social media thing and went viral. LeBron was on his wife's podcast. Think about that. LeBron was on his wife's podcast, and I guess they were talking about if they weren't together. Like, say something happened, they were not together anymore. And LeBron made a comment about at the age of 40 right now, he couldn't see himself coming home and having like a stay at home wife. And he mentioned it more so it's like, well, I think he said like a sit on the couch wife, not stay at home. wife, like a sit on the couch, meaning like you're not doing anything, not stay at home. He said he couldn't see himself with a sit on the couch wife. Um, and people took that and ran with it
Mhm.
because they was like, well, what do you think she is? Whatever. Well, she's not. I know she's raised their children. Um, you know, she's had some business ventures. Obviously, some of that money comes from the money that he's been able to bring into the house. I know because I know even Carlisha was saying I know she's had like a skincare line or some things like that. Hell, she has a podcast now that obviously makes her money. So she's had business ventures and she's raised kids who are. I was talking about it with Carlisha last night. Who LeBron is, I think, billionaire status right now. I think already as somebody that's still playing. If not, he's very close to it. And as somebody who's still playing, that's amazing. Um, they have two kids that are grown that are in college who themselves are, we talk about people, talk about the Nolan Wells kid, who those kids, by all accounts, seem to be very well rounded people. If there are kids who will have the, uh, every reason in the world to sit there and say, I don't have to do shit, my parents are rich, I don't have to do nothing, it's kids like that. Two of them kids are in college. One is in the fucking NBA. And by all accounts, the youngest one, their daughter, Zuri, seems to have a pretty good head on her shoulders. And you see her, I think she plays volleyball. They be at the games and stuff like that. They seem to have three. Obviously, I mean, they could probably be stuck up kids to a certain extent. Because if you got money, of course, at some point, there's some things that your kids.
You're not gonna
But they still,
entertain and just have everything around you.
yeah, but they seem to be very well rounded kids, which means for a man who's been on the road playing basketball for over 20 years, gone a lot, have to train a lot, long road trips, all of these long seasons. Hell, he had 8 straight years of going to the finals, so those are extremely long seasons. That would mean Savannah has obviously done something right.
Yep.
And I'm saying all that to preface the fact that people took and ran that he said that he couldn't have a sit on the couch wife like it was a diss to Savannah. How is it a diss to Savannah when she's sitting there with him? And I just don't understand how people constantly place themselves in the shoes of others in that respect
Oh,
when something is very, very obvious that he can't obviously be talking about her when he's sitting there as the man, the person that leaves his house, again, with two grown kids in college doing their damn thing, another younger daughter doing her thing, with the wife that has a business doing her thing, and they've been together since seventh grade. How the hell do y'all think that's a shot at his wife?
because you have the on behalfers that have to basically project their unhealed trauma and what they've experienced in an effort to protect somebody from their narrative that most likely is not even going to happen. So that's what that is. Um, and as much as you hate to say it, Savannah had to be doing something. She had to be doing something. So, of course, if she's up doing things and handling her business and, kind of making her own little pathway in life, yeah, he don't want nobody just sitting on the couch. Because I don't
Mm-hmm.
want you to think that just because I don't divulge what we got going on in our personal lives, that there's actually nothing going on. So don't assume that you come over this way and I'm just gonna be this like you had this little free range and free ride and you get to just bask in the ambience of my hard work. No.
Yeah.
Cause then what the conversation like? What you do today? Shit.
Nothing. Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nah.
I don't, and
Yeah,
also,
I just so funny you said that because I was thinking about like what how do some men because I'm not gonna ask you married, but I was just thinking like how do some men think intimacy is supposed to work when a woman is taking care of 100% herself and her personal, life, whatever. Again, y'all dating, y'all may be together, maybe not, but y'all together. Y'all ain't married, before engagement, and this woman is taking care of 100% financially and household duties, and you think that she's supposed to just bust it open for you just because y'all together, just because y'all dating, like,
mm,
huh? So
it,
how do you think a man feels? So it go both ways. Like I see what
yeah.
you're talking about, it go both ways. Like don't nobody want nobody just
Hmm.
there.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking about. I'm like, people talk about his insane work ethic. Like, the Cavs were on a lot of the players got together for a 10-year celebration. They were all
Mhm.
across the world playing golf and stuff. But then they were saying that while some of the other guys that were out there with them were saying that he was still getting up at 6 o'clock, getting workouts in. You There ain't a person alive who is gonna work as hard as like he does all day long, keeping his body in shape, the toll it takes, whatever, that's just gonna come home and be like, oh, so you ain't did nothing? Like, people ain't I can see how somebody that works like that wouldn't be able to come home and be like, oh, so I've been doing this. I've been going for however many hours doing what I have to do, dedicating myself to my craft, and all you did was sat on the couch all day,
Scroll, watch TV,
all day.
indulge, 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 just indulge.
Yeah. Which
Eat,
I
sleep,
understand.
kick.
I get it. There are men who don't want their women to work, and maybe that's what you want them to do in a sense. I
What?
get it, but I also can see how somebody can be so driven as a person that can sit there and be like, yo, I can't deal with the person that's gonna be, I ain't do nothing. I shop today every day. So why that's so hard for people to believe? I don't get. And then I was I was laughing when I was like scrolling through the comments when I was looking at the clip of it, from the for the Angie Martinez show on Instagram, and the delusional people in the comments too who are just saying stuff. And I was joking. I know I've made this reference before, but I forget that, you know what, 35 or so years ago when I was at elementary school, you know eh, we used to go to one school, and
I
there
already
used
know
to
where
be
this is going.
and there used to be this little small one behind the bit school, and that little small one, them kids came to school later than we did because they didn't want us all to be interacting, and then them kids got out of school earlier than we did because they didn't want us all interacting. And you forget that nowadays when you get into life and stuff
Yes,
like that and social media, that we all in motherfucking gym pop right now. Like, we
yes.
all just waiting for processing at the jail, waiting to go where we got to go. We all in gym pop right now. So we all in this shit together. So when we see these outrageous comments sometimes, and what people think or how they react, you just got to understand that, oh, this just might have been a short bus motherfucker. Oh, I mean, legitimately, it just might have been a short bus motherfucker. Like, cause y'all are delusional, y'all are crazy, y'all are, or some of y'all, I should say, are just, it just don't make sense at all. So
I
these
promise
just
you, I'm gonna
gotta be
send
some
you this
short bus
clip.
motherfuckers.
I'm gonna send you this clip. I forget her name, and I promise you, I hate that it's on Facebook because I want to share it to my Instagram story. I'm an Instagram person, but it's on Facebook. And this girl, I guess she does debates like as her content. She just let
Uh-huh.
people hop on and they just debate whatever. Politics, trends, whatever the content you want to talk about, she'll debate it, right? So this one girl starts out and her initial comment or take or something was just like completely like, huh? Like it kind of made you like turn your head. So the girl, the host, I guess you could say, um, she asked her, she was like, "Wait, before we proceed, how many continents are there?" And the host pretty much had to ask her 5 different times, "How many continents is there?" because she kept avoiding answering the question. And when she finally answered the question, she said, "49? I don't know. I mean, just what? You made your point. I'm done. This is a—" And so sometimes it really is people who would have been separated from you by an adult with authority and paperwork behind it if this was 30 years ago. And you have to be very mindful of who you engage with a back and forth with
Mhm.
because y'all wouldn't have been in the same classroom. You are literally arguing with an IEP holder
Mhm.
and wonder why you're so frustrated.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, no.
Yeah.
I do not go back and forth with a whole bunch of people, whatever. Like every now and then I catch myself and I'm like, why did I even like why? For what?
I've done
I'm
that
like,
too.
it was
I've
it was a
I've
waste. Like
responded to
I
people before. Hmm.
so I like I said, I have conceded to whole divisive content and all of the back and forth with right and wrong and morality checks, you know what I'm saying? Like all that. I'm just completely over with it because people would have been again
Hmm.
separated from me by an
Yeah.
adult with paperwork
Yeah. You know
if this was 30
what?
years ago.
Yeah. One of the one of the worst pieces of content that I see, and I admit I laugh at them sometimes, but one of the worst pieces of content that I see nowadays are like when the people be on the street and they may do something like read these words, um, and it's always young people, and I hate it because it gets edited real hard, so it could maybe they talk to 50 people and maybe let's just let's just try to be gracious. Maybe 40 of the 50 people actually can read the words, but then
Yes, yes,
they take the
yes,
10 that
yes,
can't just for the sake of content. But
yes,
it's still sad because it'll just I'm not saying it's the most basic of words because I won't say that much, but I still say a lot of times it's words that people should be able to read. And I know not
yes.
everybody has been the greatest readers or anything like that, but it's not really just reading, it's just not knowing a word sometimes that it's ugh, and again, I've laughed at him a few times, but now I found myself just being like, "No, I'm gonna skip right past this," because it's actually sad that the people you out here just living your life, and it's not that reading is the end all be all. Obviously, there's been a lot of successful people in life that couldn't read or a lot of different things. Um, But man, you putting yourself behind the 8 ball sometimes if you can't read basic words, or sometimes, they'll do the thing with a clock and it'll just be tell me what time it is and people don't know what time it is. Or like the question you said they asked about how many continents it is, that people won't be able to answer that simple question. Or uh it's people won't be able to tell you what the 3 countries are here in North America, those types of things. And it's just
I said them in
it's
my head
sad.
just to see if I knew it.
Oh yeah, it's yeah. Hey, the whole time
I
I've
was
been
like,
talking about it,
Canada,
I'm
United
like
States,
hey,
Mexico, got it.
yeah. I This whole time we've been talking, I'm like, hey, let me make sure I don't mess up a word because I can't be
Listen,
talking about somebody who can't read, and I'm over here talking about, hey man,
listen.
the conniption of just fucking up some words or something.
I'm telling you right now, I am about to when we get off this this conversation, I'm probably going to look at my app store and see if they have a game called Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? And I'm literally
Uh
probably gonna download it just so I can refresh random trivia and knowledge about stuff like do I know all of the clouds in the different systems? Stuff
shit.
like
All I can
like
really name is a cumulus cloud right now. That's like the only
listen,
thing that pops in my head right now. You know
see,
what? We should find if they got that app, and we should bring it on the show, and we should ask a question every week because we talk about stuff. Because I know we could forget simple stuff, something
yeah,
that
for
long,
sure, for
that
sure.
far away.
Yes.
Um, I actually think that'd be a funny thing to do. So yeah,
How
we
many
need to look for
degrees
that.
is a right angle?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
90
Like stuff like
degrees.
that, whatever. Like just based on because we get I think we have moved as a society from fact-based conversation to opinionated and
Yeah.
feeling-based
Oh,
conversation
definitely.
to where when we bring up simple facts, it's a tizzy to our feelings. And I think that's a
Hmm.
lot of reason why people feel so attacked because when you disagree, you think that I'm attacking you when I'm just disagreeing with your thought process
Yeah.
or you know what I'm saying, your take on something, whatever. But because you identify with this belief so heavily, you can't separate that I just disagree with this and I'm not
Yeah.
attacking you personally because that's
Yeah.
how you
Yeah.
identify.
Yeah. And because you people spend all day throwing their thoughts into the world via these phones and these
Forcing
social media.
acceptance of them.
Yeah. And
I'm
then
forcing you to think like me. And if you don't think like me, it's a threat to my existence.
yeah.
Just because
And
you
then
don't
your
think like me.
algorithms reinforce it. The
Yeah,
algorithms all day
because
long
you might
reinforce it because all you see
because
is
if
your
you don't think
thoughts.
like me, you might, not know a boundary. And then when you cross the boundary and then physical
Yeah, yeah,
don't get me wrong. I think I understand how it can spiral. I do. Don't get me wrong. Because yes, if you don't believe that as a black woman, I am human and deserve human decency because you want to cook, eat
yeah,
me, make me into a person, everything like that, I understand where yes, that thought process and differences will become a threat to my existence somewhere. However, when we talk about basic stuff like surface level one, where it's easy for us to agree to disagree and none of us, are hurt. We come out unscathed. That type of stuff. Like again, you don't even understand basic facts
hmm
because you're so opinion and feeling driven.
yeah, yeah. So Maybe we'll look into that. Maybe we'll look and see if we can find that app that says, see if we can bring some questions in. If we don't even find the app, you could Google some shit that'll find you some questions. I think that'd be cool to go through and see how much we would actually remember when it comes to that. Um, so we'll see. All right, so let's go ahead and wrap this one up for the week. We're a little bit over
Okay.
an hour.
Yeah.
Um, um, let's see, next Sunday, what's going on? Oh no, y'all got the brunch and stuff. So next Sunday
And
probably
then you
gonna be
got
out, especially
Taste of
yeah,
Tremont.
especially if we do Taste of
Yeah.
Tremont. So we might be a couple of weeks. But we'll play it by ear and we'll see.
Yes,
Um,
sir. Well, as we always do.
yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, well, give them all your shits and where they can find you.
Ulysses Dickerson on every social media platform. Ulysses Too Funny on TikTok. And check me out on the gram. My gram is public. My Facebook is private. Um, and until we talk again, stay blessed, healthy, and wealthy per usual.
All right.
Oh, and I'll see y'all on the 31st of this month if y'all come out for my show. Um, and make sure y'all follow me.
All right. And then for me,
Give
everything
them
is
all
the
your shit.
same. Yeah, yeah, everything's the same. R&B night Tuesday, bar one. Then Friday nights at Johnny Malloy's. So we'll see y'all when we see y'all in a couple of weeks. And as I always close out and say, it may be cloudy today, but the sun will come out tomorrow. And as long as you are here under the sun, live your life to the best of your motherfucking ability. I am DJ Brainstorm for you on all social media. DJ Brainstorm, the number 4, the letter.
You.
There you go. All right, y'all. So we'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.